Hey everyone, I'm Alicia from a music blog, and I'm delighted to be here with Flo Morrissey today. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. So I just wanted to kick things off by saying, as an emerging artist, we of course want to get you acquainted with all of our viewers at home.
Yeah.
So I read that you grew up in a family with 9 children.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
I guess I'm still growing up with them. I still live at home, so I don't know. It's very special to be a part of such a big family and be with people that I like, around so many people that I love. And for the most part, we get on really well. So it can be challenging, but it's amazing too.
Well, I know in my family we'd go for car rides together, and I always looked forward to seeing, I still do, what my parents would put on. So I was just curious, growing up for you, or when you are at home, what did you listen to that your parents would play? Did that kind of get passed on to you?
Yeah. Funnily enough, it was more things like, do you know, like Devendra Banhart and more kind of freak folk. I don't really like that term, but if you were to say, it was that kind of thing my dad and my brother introduced me to. And like Anthony and the Johnsons, and kind of people that were slightly coming up in a different kind of way, rather than like they then also did introduce me to Bob Dylan, Nick Drake, but I resonated a lot with those kind of guys, and funnily enough, mainly it was male musicians for some reason. So I think that had a big imprint on my early stages.
Nice. We actually picked up a guitar and wrote your first song at the age of 14.
Yeah.
What initially drove you to want to pick up the guitar and actually start creating your own music?
I think singing was always what I did and was always my thing, so to speak. I think it just felt like a natural thing to then start playing guitar and try and find a way of honing in the craft, I guess. And so it just felt like I wasn't kind of trying too hard, and it came natural. Like it just felt like a next progression of the stage of singing, I guess. So, yeah.
And now you're at the exciting stage where you're about to soon release a debut record.
Yeah.
You must be pretty pumped for that.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, and you recorded that in LA. So what was that overall experience like of actually creating your debut?
It was really amazing. I was in LA for 2.5 months this time last year in the spring. LA can be a lonely place, so I found it was like kind of loved it, but then also had difficult moments where I was away from home. So it was definitely a great experience, and then I think it gave a lot to the album. It gave it that underlying sense of warmth from the sun, and yeah, it was just a really good experience, but I was happy to come home in the end.
Well, how long have these songs on the album actually been in the works for? Because as I mentioned, you've been writing since 14. Did some of that earlier material make it on?
One of them I wrote when I was 15,
wow.
So it's been like things that have been with me for the past 5 years. So it's quite I don't know, it feels great to be able to finally share them and then hopefully move on to newer things, but we will see.
I feel like the question that most fans want to know the most would be, when can fans actually expect to listen to the new music?
It's coming out in Europe in June, and then America and Canada and like the rest
everywhere
of the world,
else
in July. So hopefully you'll get snips of little things up until then.
Nice. Well, in anticipation for the album's release, you're of course touring North America, and you're in Toronto today. We're so excited to have you.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, so just how has this experience been for you so far, coming over and just exploring?
It's been amazing. This is the 4th show tonight, and I love eBay, so it's really a pleasure to play with them. We've been driving to every state, so that takes its toll a bit. But it's great to briefly be able to see Canada, and then hopefully, because I leave tonight for Chicago straight after the show, so hopefully I'll get to see again soon. Yeah.
Are there any cities in specific that you really look forward to attending or going to?
I'm excited to get back to LA because I haven't been since I recorded the album. And I'm excited to see San Francisco because I've never been, and I hear it's amazing. And then Portland as well. And Vancouver. I can't wait to see that we finish in Vancouver.
Nice.
Apparently it's really beautiful there.
Well, I'm sure you'll be playing some festivals come summertime. I know that everyone's getting really pumped for that. So with that being said, if you could curate your own festival, who would you like to be part of that lineup?
Good question.
Thank you.
I think the first person that came to mind was Bjork. I think she's someone that's a pioneer for female musicians nowadays. I'd pick her. Then like Beck, Damon Albarn, Ibeyi. I'm about to play with Tobias Jesso Jr.
Yes, I saw that.
And I love him, so I pick him. James Blake. Yeah, I think that would be a pretty good...
It's a pretty good lineup.
Pretty good lineup, yeah.
Well, since you do have some more extensive tours coming up right after this one, when it comes to packing for a tour, what are some quintessential items you must have?
I think shoes are very important, so I go by... They can, like, make or break an outfit, so I base a lot of outfits around that. But then I think I'm trying to not think too much about things now. Like, we've kind of been living out a suitcase for these past few days. So I kind of just go like, okay, this. And then so you just have to go with the flow.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I also like kind of healthy things. So I'm lucky that there's Whole Foods and all those kind of things in America. So I'm not too far away from home.
Yeah. Well, when I was actually looking into your Facebook pages and everything, because I've been following you for quite some time and looking forward to this debut, I read that going into actual, like, your music career, that you were going to go into high school and you've kind of dropped out of that, and instead of going to university, pursued a career in music. And for me, that just really hit home, because rather than going to university, I took time off to pursue my passion for my website. So for fans of yours who might want to go in that same path or career path, what advice would you give them if they're kind of struggling with the decision, or I'm not quite sure?
I think deep down you'll know. If, like, I always knew that I didn't want to go to university, so it was kind of a thing, like, I've always been set on, and luckily my parents were supportive of that. And you have to really like it helps that I have supportive parents that trusted that if I left school, like, I wouldn't just be sitting on my bottom all day. So you have to have that drive, and like, I've been putting things online since the age of 14 on MySpace and stuff. So I think you have to have that initial desire and passion for something, and then see where it takes you. But I think everyone has that in them, and they just need to, they can find it out themselves, like with music and what you're doing, and like journalism and art. Like, nowadays it actually makes more sense to just dive in and not go to university. Like, I don't want to tell people not to go because it definitely is beneficial, but I think also the world is changing, and there's more, like, it's not as black and white anymore, and you can make a decision for yourself.
I love that explanation, because it was one of those
Sorry,
things.
it's
one of those things that I was kind of.
I'm like, these are the things I say to myself. So.
It's one of those things that I was going through, and it wasn't necessarily a struggle, but everyone else is kind of thinking of doing one thing, and you're set on the other. So it was this very unique space to be in.
Good
but
on you.
Thank you. But I feel like it's definitely something where you come out of it and you're like, no regrets whatsoever. I'm sure you feel the same.
Yeah, I feel the same. No, I wouldn't be happy at all if I was at university right now. I don't know. Yeah, I'd do something like French maybe, like something kind of that would then help the music, but in a different way. So I would never want to go to university to study music, for example. So I'm weird like that.
Well, just to wrap everything up here, I just wanted to ask you, what's something about yourself that most of your fans wouldn't know yet?
What would they not know?
Slight stumper.
Give me some. What are some of the things that people might say?
People have said, I've literally had people tell me that they've done interviews in their underwear before. Like doing
not that.
No, not saying for you. Like first concerts they've been to.
Yeah.
Those are usually interesting.
Who's the first? I went to see Morrissey.
No way.
Yeah, who is not related to me. Maybe that's a good.
Yeah.
Is it in? No, Morrissey is not related to me.
Not related to you.
I can pretend, but he's not. And he was my first proper concert.
Wow.
He's incredible, yeah.
What's your favorite Smiths or Morrissey song?
I do a cover of his song called Irish Blood, English Heart, and I love that. And then I love a song called Asleep by the Smiths, and I Won't Share You. Like, he and they have...
The whole discography is just
it's incredible,
amazing.
Yeah. So I think that would be my... If I could tie that into being my unknown.
Perfect. No, that wraps everything up. I just want to say a big thanks to you, Flo, for
so
taking
much.
the time today. And remember, for everyone watching at home, for all exclusive interviews and features with your favorite artists, be sure to visit us at www.amusicblogya.com. See you.